All right, what is going on? We are just going to get right into things just because I want to check on some news things. I want to see what is going on, and I am just trying to do a couple things. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so what is going on? We are nearing the end of the year. It is absolutely crazy to me how quickly this year has gone by. Chaos to clarity, noise to narrative. It is, what is it? It is December 29th. Holy moly. And this is my first take. I was listening to some of the Bitcoin spaces today. And apparently some of the Bitcoin hosts are unhappy with some of the other Bitcoin hosts. And it made me think that most of the people doing these Bitcoin spaces were not here several years ago. They were not here when Solana hit $8 holding Bitcoin spaces. So at the moment, these Bitcoin spaces, people are bickering. They're getting into all of these things that are completely irrelevant with our mission here, what we're doing and where we're going. And they're infighting. They're fighting with each other almost by design. And all we need to do is zoom out like you do with the market. Sometimes you need to just zoom out. And these people that are fighting with each other, just zoom out. Who cares what you're fighting about? And one of the messages that I heard today was that our responsibility, which I do agree with in some sense, is to onboard people, to share the message of what gave us that aha moment, what makes cryptocurrency and the blockchain so special. And it has been missed for a number of reasons. One, I think the X algorithm now, it's no longer crypto Twitter. It's some AI hodgepodge of senseless replies that have absolutely destroyed the platform recently. Literally destroyed the platform. It's unfortunate. It used to be the place to go to uncover the new untalked about, under wave, undercutting, under edge, things that were about to come to light. You would be on crypto X or crypto Twitter, as it was called, and you would learn. All of that has stopped. Yes, it's great that X has become this news platform and it's rivaled the legacy media, which is God, thank God. But what has happened to the crypto space on X? It has literally disappeared. It reminds me that you need to keep the narrative. You need to continue doing what you have been doing. Stop fighting because the market's boring or the market's down. I was doing a space with a couple people when Solana was at $8. And there was nothing to talk about in the market, but we just continued to show up every single day. And that's what you do. You show up and you build community and you onboard people. You teach about the lessons of the blockchain. And we have stopped doing that for some reason. And it is really upsetting and unfortunate that we are missing the narrative. When excitement disappears and boredom sets in, structure is being built. Discomfort is usually the tell that you are early, not wrong. When these markets get like this, when Solana goes to $8, it's not that we were wrong, it's that we were early. You just need to keep the rudder in the water and continue moving forward with positivity. I am seeing it clearly in the Bitcoin spaces. I hope they pull it together because that narrative is so important and there's so many intelligent people in those spaces. But listening to these people bicker about, it's like a soap opera. Nobody wants that stuff. Get back on message, get back on point, continue onboarding people. We would all appreciate it. Honestly, I don't know, the Solana ETH wars, when Solana went down to $8, it was this stress test for the community. It was a stress test for everything. And a lot of people disappeared. We're seeing that now. It's another stress test. But I do believe that we are going to get through this. It will just take a moment. We're at the end of the year. Just let the year turn. Go into it with some positivity, some momentum. You will appreciate it on the other side. I think onboarding is super important in everything that we do in this space, which is why every single, I don't know, whatever live thing that I do, I'm going to try and close with at least one onboarding message or something that resonated with me as I was joining the space, which if you've been here for a couple cycles, you forget to share these messages and you get caught up in this bullshit that has nothing to do with why we're here. And if you think about it, the idea is for the establishment to have us lose our narrative, to have us fight with each other, to lose the reason we are building this stuff. So it is playing out just like they wanted to. It is what it is. What are you going to do? It's December 29th. We got a couple more days in the year. Which, this is another thing I was thinking about. If you are going to quit drinking, quit smoking, quit doing any of those things, I implore you to do them today. So that way, when you get to January 1st, you can say, I quit drinking or smoking last year, which won't make you feel as bad when you start drinking or smoking again. It's all how you look at things. Ethereum, Bitcoin, they are going up and down. It was really awesome to go to bed. And as I went to bed last night, Bitcoin was tipping that 90K mark. I think it hit $90,400 and everybody's bull posting. And I go to bed and it's dipped back down. And so just this seesaw yo-yo effect that we are seeing, it just continues. It is not going to stop for a moment until we get some of these omega green candles that everybody has been hoping for. I love watching the silver people and the gold people run laps right now. Enjoy it. It won't last long. Most large cap alts stalled alongside with Bitcoin and Ethereum. What are you going to do? Roughly about $70 billion in total market cap was gained and then instantly lost in about 4 or 5 hours. So just these bullish swings up and down. I don't know if you are leverage trading right now. Holy moly. If you have not learned your lesson yet, holy moly. Wait for solid narrative to start doing that stuff. All right, let's get into some crypto news. You know what? Even before we do the news, I want to look at the market and see what's going on just super quick. The heat bubbles, the heat map, my heat map is not working right now, but the crypto bubbles, we are in the red right now. And what I am looking at, Bitcoin on the year, it's down 6.7%. Ethereum on the year is down 12.1%. BNB, CZ, the king of kings, it is up 22% year to date. The only other asset that is up year to date is Tron, Bitcoin Cash, and Zcash. Holy moly. Now, let's check in on the Zcash price. Zcash is up 794% year to date. Mert, you had the best call in crypto. Mert, well done. Here's my question about Zcash. And Mert, this is a good question for you. Please answer this in the chat. Do you believe that privacy coins will prevail even when they get government resistance? Meaning, the government has used, let's say, terrorism as an example to infringe upon your rights as an individual citizen. Because they say it's safer for you if the government takes on this burden and makes sure everybody's okay. That privacy thing is kind of the ultimate linchpin. That is the ultimate thing that the government wants to control. And Zcash is one of the things that can keep it just out of the government's reach. Not the United States government, governments worldwide. Do you believe that privacy narrative will stand when push comes to shove and the government decides to shut it down? In my view, they will not allow a complete privacy token to ever exist, no matter what. It will be, I just don't think they let it happen because they will say there are too many bad actors. And the ultimate argument is, what are you trying to hide? And I understand, yes, there are many reasons to use privacy for purchases. But when you throw the terrorism mix, or they're going to throw these other cards in there, like child pornography, all of these buzzwords that they throw in there that they are going to mix with the need for privacy, and Zcash will be on the end receiving those lashes. And what I want to know is, do you think Zcash will be able to stand the test of time and go to bat against governments worldwide? That is a question that I have, and it remains unanswered. Some good friends of mine years ago started something called Mobile Coin, and it was a privacy coin. And they just had a tough time with that. And I understood the problems as they were creating it, as they were pushing it, as they were getting traction. They had a bunch of things transpire along the way, both good and bad. But the ultimate story that I was watching was the privacy narrative is something the governments do not want to give you freely. So it is something that you will need to fight for, and I do believe it is worth fighting for. Crypto Greed and Fear Index is coming in at a 23. We are in the longest run at the moment in the fear and extreme fear area that we have been in, period. Historically, we are in that zone. I just talked about infighting in crypto spaces. We are at this zone where everybody is asking that question, what the fuck am I doing? Did you waste 2025? Every crypto investment you made in the last year is down in price. Think how much time you invested in this space over the last year. Is it all for naught? The answer is absolutely not. You just need to keep fucking going. Now is the time to put the rudder in the water, set sail for the horizon that you always intended upon arriving at, and just continue moving forward. Bitcoin and Ethereum dominance are both on the rise. What does that mean? Who cares? Polymarket, let's check in. This is what's interesting. I started using Polymarket in my Substack and in my podcast when it first came out, just as a news source. And it has become so important over the last year and a half that I find it absolutely mesmerizing. Will Trump and Netanyahu handshake in the last 6 to 10 seconds? I mean, so I'm watching people that I used to follow for trading advice that are sitting watching soap operas trying to figure out what is going to be said next. I don't know if it's entertaining. I don't know if it has the sticky sauce that is required to keep people coming back. I also watch some friends sit and gamble online, electronic gambling. I don't know if that is Is that sharing is that on board? I don't know what the fuck is happening sometimes. This is what I have been thinking about. I still love NFTs and the NFT space. And on X, one of the things that I love is people that are bullish about their community post their NFTs. They do artwork created with their NFT, and they just spread the message, including their NFT. What does that do? One, it creates a community, but two, it lets other people peer into the community. An example is there are several people on X that I follow that post their thoughts and stuff, but they post it from their NFT kind of account ideology. And so there's a couple NFTs that I will be purchasing in the near term. Doodles. I have some doopies, but I want to get a Doodles. I want to get Good Vibes Club. There's several others. Quirkies. There are a couple collections that are just kind of spreading this positive message that I like. And it's not about the price point. It's about the community that's created. And if art makes you smile, Flogs is another collection that I'm invested in that I love. I love the artwork. It makes me smile. I love the IP. Doodles, it makes me smile. Same thing. Doopies, the latest collection from Burnt Toast and Doodles. It is so awesome and simple. It also makes me smile. Good Vibes Club. That is a community that I've never been in a Good Vibes Club space where they aren't radiating positivity. Then I think about Quirkies and watching the arc of Quirkies from 2022, 23, 24, up until now, 25. We're almost into 2026, watching that collection take off, flounder, because everything floundered during this crazy market where NFTs died. But some people just decided, you know what? We are going to put our rudder back in the water and we are going to keep moving forward. It's similar to what needs to happen in the crypto space right now as it becomes fractured. Just put your rudder back in the water and sail forward. Just do it. It's that easy. And it's not simple. It is easy. Looking at some of the top NFT sales in the last 24 hours, CryptoPunks are still selling for the premiums $137,000 on the lower end, where you're seeing them at $74,000, $71,000. We saw a grifter sale for 15 Ethereum in today's market. That is $43,844. A couple Pudgy Penguins and a couple Bored Apes are still making the rounds. Are you guys buying NFTs? Are you investing in the old school blue chip NFTs, or are you making gambles and bets on some of the things that are coming down the pike? I love some of the new stuff that is coming down the pike. Why? Because when you see good IP, to me, you kind of know it's good IP. And watching collections rise over the last 5 years, there are ingredients that the collections that did well had. And very few of the collections just took off out of the gate. They move up and down as they gain traction before they take off. And all the collections that really took off had a certain number of ingredients. The latest collection I've seen pop up that contains these ingredients is It's a Flog. And I love what Woot is doing. I'm a huge fan. So if you guys are looking for a collection, it is something that is very interesting to me. He is the art director, or one of the art directors at Yuga Labs. I believe that the Flogs will be on Other Side Gaming very soon. If you have not played the Other Side, it is an absolutely fantastic game that I absolutely love. Yeah, hats off to Garga and everything that they are doing. It makes me super happy to be involved in that environment. Is there anything else going on that is super interesting? No. You know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. We are going to oh, you know what? Yeah, let me see. Is there anything else? So other thing. So there's a couple things. Ethereum staking distortion. One, record staking queues look bullish for Ethereum, but a single corporate player is skewing the signal. Do you know who the corporate player is? I do. These skews, these players, these gigantic players, MicroStrategy is one for Bitcoin. These players in these ecosystems, are they harboring growth, or are they harboring volatility that could lead to explosive downside? If these big companies get wrecked for whatever reason, it will absolutely destroy anybody else that is involved, unless there is enough liquidity to scoop up their mistakes. And oftentimes, as technology grows, these mistakes happen quickly. Think of American Online. Think of Bing, search engine. Think of Netscape. You guys don't know what any of these things are because they disappeared. But at one point, they were the largest things on planet Earth. They're gone. Motorola. Do you know what a Motorola flip phone is? That was the biggest phone on the planet, and it is invisible now. How about the BlackBerry? Do you guys know what that is? Yep. So just understand that we are moving into this era where the game is changing, the player is changing, the technology is advancing and moving at a pace driven by AI, and it will change faster than one most can believe. I think the older generation will not believe how fast it changes. The younger generation, they just won't care. It will just be their life. We are about to see unprecedented change across so many mediums, from job loss to economy changes. I don't know if, I mean, we have there's so much shit advancing at such a rapid pace. Fuck it. We're probably going to talk to aliens. In 2026, my guess is that we will have our first full-fledged conversation with aliens. Bitmain breaks the old rule. Mining rig prices cut despite Bitcoin's strength, signaling a collapsing miner revenue and cycling decoupling. Are you guys buying Bitcoin mining rigs? I looked at a bunch of stats today. I believe in the United States, the current stat to mine one Bitcoin is about $78,240. So if you want to buy a Bitcoin mining rig, you can start mining your own Bitcoin under market value for the moment. Keep in mind, we have the difficulty rate for Bitcoin. It is about to change in the near future. Will that make your rig purchase obsolete? Do you need to purchase something more powerful? Think about all those things. XRP supply tightening quickly. XRP is currently trading at $1.86. It is down 11% year to date. Tokens are moving into cold storage for ETFs. They are thinning liquidity supplies while retail looks away. So we are seeing some of the supply of XRP being scooped up by ETFs while people are not paying attention. These are things that we have to watch. We have Bitcoin cycle assumptions under fire. What does that mean? Analysts warn that this cycle will not mirror the past due to macro divergence. I personally have been saying this is our first Bitcoin cycle that is not a 4-year cycle, whether it's a 5-year cycle or a 6-year cycle. I do not know. This is going to be the strangest next 2 years for Bitcoin we will see ever, in my opinion. Macro pressure is building. Bitcoin losing $90,000 alongside rising oil and falling gold suggests tightening conditions. What does that mean? There are so many things happening. It all depends on who you listen to. Go listen to Peter Schiff's space. Go listen to Bitcoin hodler space. There's so many different ideas on what is going to happen to the market, and nobody knows. What will be interesting is the people that stick to the course and just ride out whatever FUD is happening will be victorious. And the longer it takes for that victory lap, the sweeter it will be. You just need to have patience. And we will get to my educational segment in one sec because it ties into what I just said. Market snapshots, sharp winners and losers point to unstable liquidity, not broad risk on behavior at the moment. World news, China, Taiwan, there's military pressure increasing with large-scale drills. Middle East, Gaza is currently facing humanitarian worsening conditions as flooding compounds the shortages that are already in place. The Israel diplomacy engagement with Somalian sparked international backlash. I wonder if the Somalians are also opening up daycare centers in Israel. Iran, there are protests. They are starting to expand as currency weakens and fuels unrest across the board. In Iran, you cannot get your money out of the bank at the moment. Europe, we have rising energy prices. As winter starts to pump in, we are going to see inflation concerns continue to rise in Europe. The Russia-Ukraine war is by no means done. Fighting is grinding on with no breakthroughs as, what is this, the third fucking or fourth winter these guys have been going at it, which is just, it's just too bad. Latin America infrastructure concerns are growing after a deadly train derailment. Holy moly, there's a bunch of stuff happening. We saw a boxer who just fought Jake Paul. He was in a terrible car crash. He seems to be okay, and he also just won $92 million in that Jake Paul fight. Thought for the day is markets don't announce transitions, they whisper them. And the teaching moment for the day is the markets do not reward excitement. They reward patience. When the price is boring and the volume is low and everyone is arguing, positioning is happening quietly in the background if you know what to look for. The positioning, the chess moves never stop happening. If on the front lines you're seeing bickering, something is definitely happening on the back end. You need to remove yourself from the bickering on the front end. Do not tune into the noise and find the signal. The move never starts when it feels obvious. Okay? It's not time to buy Bitcoin when it's pumping. It's time to buy it when it does not feel obvious. When most people are tired and distracted and kind of convinced it's over, that is when it's time to start playing the game for real. That is when you put your chips on the table. Learn to recognize that phase and you will stop chasing the noise and start building conviction. That's kind of how we do it on December 29th. It's as simple as that. Man, I used to have so much fun pumping these out. It's been a minute. I'm on an artist residency. I'm making a bunch of art. I'm in a new studio. I'm doing all kinds of shit. We're going to get into it as soon as I can. But I just wanted to pump out some stuff. And if you guys are looking for an awesome NFT collection, go get yourself a FWOG. It's just awesome shit. I hope you guys have a good day. Stay out of trouble. Boom.